Welcome to the Potomac Local Podcast. I'm your host, Uriah Kaiser. And today we have a special guest, Barbara Biddle, the founder of District Hemp. District Hemp has been a fixture in our community, and after a challenging journey, they've reopened their doors in a new location at 9417 Main Street in downtown Manassas. Barbara's story is one of resilience, adaptability, and community spirit. Join us as we discuss the trials and triumphs that led her back to Manassas, the impact of regulatory changes on her business, and what customers can expect from the new District Temp. Our conversation begins with Barbara talking about the decision to close her original storefront due to the demolition of a longtime city fixture, the Oldtown Inn.
It was a heart-wrenching experience, we were definitely blindsided by the news, and, me and the staff and our customer base, everybody was really heartbroken. Um, we tried every single option to continue to stay open, but it just nothing came to fruition, and so when we finally had to make that tough decision to close, it was one of the hardest decisions I had to make, honestly, in my life. And so, we weren't sure what was gonna happen after that. We kept feelers out there just in case anything popped up and, fast forward to a year later, I got an email from our current landlords, and somebody had shared with them, multiple people had shared with them, that we were looking for a new space, and our story with what happened with the closure. And they invited us to come check out the space and see if we liked it, and not only did we like it, we loved it. So um
It
you
is
know
a very nice space where you're at now. You opened in Manassas in what year?
2017.
And you operated on what was the site of the Old Town Inn. That building and your old space has since been demolished. Uh, but that wasn't necessarily the reason why. It had a big role in why you left Manassas. Obviously, if they're going to tear down your space, you really have nowhere to have a storefront. So that's part of it. But there was also some legal issues that changed the game and the way your business operates in Virginia. Talk about that for me, please.
Yes, yes. So there was significant regulatory changes. And so, SB 903 passed, and SB 903 essentially changed what products were allowed to be sold in Virginia. It also changed the definition of marijuana to now outlaw those products, and, potentially people can catch criminal charges just for possessing those federally legal products. And so that was definitely a huge shift for us, and we felt it very hard in Leesburg. We did everything we did or could to comply with the law, but unfortunately, so many people lost access to products that they needed. And some of the products that we were left with, it just wasn't sufficient for them at the time. And so, having to navigate the unexpected closure plus the addition of these, very stringent regulations, it was very hard for us to rationalize taking out a loan and reopening in Manassas. So once things got to once things stabilized and we understood the new market, the new regulations, I felt a little bit more confident. And then out of nowhere, this location popped up, and so we definitely pounced on it. But it was a mixture of, not only the unforeseen closure, but just a completely new regulatory landscape to have to navigate as a small business owner. That made
And
it
you
very.
had multiple locations. You were first in Manassas, but talk about where else you opened stores.
Yes, yes. So it all started in Manassas, but then we were blessed to open up our Leesburg location in 2019. And then from there, we were able to open up another location in Washington, D.C., right in DuPont Circle. And so, being here in Manassas really springboarded our company. I was able to build like a very strong cult following here, and it followed us to the other towns that we decided to open up in.
You talked about the regulatory changes that changed your business. has anything been changed on that front to specifically when you talk about people couldn't get the products that they needed? What were those?
Yeah, so, a lot of people lost access to, products like protein powders and CBD oils. We also had very popular gummies that people were in love with. And what makes it so difficult now is, you know, from batch to batch, sometimes there's, slight changes in the THC content. I'm talking 0.0002 milligrams of THC. And even if we have just that minuscule amount over the new limits, it's now deemed illegal. And it carries a 500 to, several $1,000 fine per product that you carry that has those minuscule amounts extra of THC. And so it's become very hard to navigate, especially when you're dealing with a not natural product that is not, 100% controllable as far as those variables are concerned. So that's been very difficult to navigate. And unfortunately, people that aren't even getting high off these products, they lost products or access to products that were doing wonders for them. And that was heartbreaking to go through.
How have you changed your business model to, I guess, account for that change in the law? What's what's different now than it was 2 or 3 years ago, and how has it affected business?
Yeah, so they've implemented requirements around batch testing. So essentially, every single batch of product that's made, we need to get a new lab test for it. And we need to have that on hand when the inspectors come in. It's not on the manufacturers, it's on us as the retailers to account for that. And so we've had to completely change our product intake process, which has definitely added, a lot of time to the process and a lot of money because it's extra administrative work. Whereas, in other industries, say the vitamin industry, where they only have to do random tests, they've implemented batch tests. You can go through batch tests on a weekly basis sometimes for some of these manufacturers. So it's added a lot of overhead costs to the products as well, making them more expensive, making them much harder to find. Because Virginia has deviated from the federal guidelines, it's a lot harder to find more cost effective, affordable, and better products from out of state. So it's really limited the options to just Virginia manufacturers, which that hurts the consumer in the long run. It hurts their affordability. It hurts the ability to get access. And so, you know, we've changed and pivoted. We've definitely changed our systems to account for this. We're hiring or we're planning on hiring for a compliance specific position to be able to best manage this process. Um,
So it
but
has increased your operating costs overall.
oh yeah, significantly.
There's always a stigma with when someone sees hemp and they may be uneducated about what that product is, and they ask themselves or ask the person next to them, Is that marijuana? Am I going to get high off of that?" Do you feel like this regulatory change has increased that stigma? Has it made it more difficult to do business?
So, since the new administration has come in, the sentiment towards hemp has changed significantly. I'm also a member of the Virginia Hemp Coalition, and we lobby year after year. And once this office came into place, they did not want to hear feedback from us. Unfortunately, it was very hard to get any sort of meetings with the governor's administration. Um, and the what we're understanding is, they don't want to make this a feasible industry. They don't want to do anything to make this industry prosper. They would rather see it go away altogether. And that is based on, reefer madness, unfortunately, at this point. And, the thought that people are just going to hemp and cannabis to get high, and that's it. So we've had to face a lot of that, unfortunately, since our we've got new people in office. So
I see. Well, let me switch gears now and talk about your new location and what people will find when they go and visit you.
yes, so we wanted to create an interactive experience. kind of going back to what you said, there is still so much stigma around hemp and misunderstanding. So we wanted to create a space where you can come and try the product in our store. Try it with some trusted experts in the field to get an understanding of what's going to happen. A lot of people still think that you get high off hemp, and with our products, we provide relief without the high. That's our specialty. That's what we like to cater to. And so we have a myriad of creams available for people to try in case they're dealing with aches and pains or stiffness. We have gummies that people can try so they can really understand like the texture and the taste of the product, make sure they like it. And then we have tinctures that they can try too, which is going to offer a more immediate effect so they can see that the product actually works before they purchase it. So something that we really wanted to create, something to differentiate ourselves, is just being the trusted source where you can come and feel the product, make sure it works for you before you purchase. And so that's what I'm really excited about. We have the space to accommodate that now, and it's been awesome.
There's a lot of changes happening in Manassas. Can you describe the feel of downtown Manassas today versus when you arrived in 2017? Is it different?
Yes, there's been a massive amount of change. I think, you know, um, with the demolition of the Oldtown Inn, it has changed the vibes in the city. One, there's more parking, which is great. But I think that being on the other side of town, being where a lot of the energy is, a lot of the traffic, on First Fridays, for instance, we would barely see anybody trickle into our old location, that was there specifically for the event. But now, I mean, we're getting over 100 customers visiting our store, and there's just so much energy and excitement with the music. The Door Initiative was awesome for the town. And so, we have seen changes, and I'd venture to say that they're all mostly positive. So it was really nice to watch that over time. Now, the reason why I was so excited to come back to, what I consider home, is the community here. It's just unparalleled to my other locations or anywhere I've been, quite frankly. Just the support I get from my neighbors, Darren over at Black Mercantile or Black Metal Mercantile, he closed down his store just to help me walk some shelves across the street. Doug's Deli, the owner, also helped us. Like, you just don't see that in other towns, like people caring about their neighbor. And the support I got from 1 Million Cups, um, the knowledge, the feedback, the intel, the people that I was able to meet. Again, I can't find this elsewhere. And so coming back to Manassas, it just felt like coming back home. And that, really, really touched me emotionally more so than anything. So all that to say, I'm just happy to be back.
And we're glad that you are back. And I appreciate you taking the time to come on and talk to us about District Temp and your new location. What's old is new again in downtown Manassas.
Yes, thank you so much for having me, Uriah. It's a pleasure. I appreciate you so much. And let us know what we can do to support.
For our listeners, make sure you visit District Hemp at their new location on Main Street to explore their wide range of hemp products and experience their exceptional customer service. Thank you all for tuning in to the Potomac Local Podcast. Until next time, I'm Uriah Kaiser.